We all know what the answer is. We do. But let's see how this asshole and his buddy, who I think was a former member of our gang and looks like a thumb in a suit. Let's see what he thinks of what people think of him.
I had a good time. I think it was our best debate ever. I thought it was.
Well, I agree in terms of getting rid of you.
It was really good. We had 3 against 1, but I anticipated.
Let's talk about that. 3 against 1, and all of her radical positions they leave on the table.
Yeah. No, we had a lot of.
Also, real quick, you do realize that the radical nature of the policy isn't the part of it. Has nothing to do with the moderators. It's whether you're telling the truth or not. And whether that truth is a debatable truth, right, as opposed to a cut and dry number.
Negative kind of stuff. Look,
a negative kind of stuff. Thank you. Thanks for the clarification.
So on your show last night, they had 100% positive coverage on ABC, and I had 94% negative coverage.
93% negative.
I exaggerate.
You got an extra.
So it's honest.
100% non-negative. As you were with her tonight, to think that we come out of this debate and we have no answer to her co-sponsoring the Green New Deal, $93 trillion, yeah. I say the end of capitalism. To come out of this, government.
Also, the Green New Deal is not an actual act. It is not an actual. It's sort of a policy position about moving us towards renewables and the like. None of it is sort of an enforceable. It's like a commitment to the environment. But the idea that she went from being people who generically supports the idea that we need to start building towards a renewable economy and a renewable, infrastructure in our country that, and a smart grid and all those kind of things that were kind of part and parcel of that discussion, to being like effectively the co-author of it or the driving force behind it, or that the real policy. It's interesting that they bring up they'll tie her to the Green New Deal, but they won't bring up the Infrastructure Act and the American Rescue Act plan. Now that it's no longer an act, they can't bring those up which is where the vast majority of these environmental advances have been made in this administration. But they can't bring them up because too many Republicans voted for them, and they're technically it's a positive. It's a net positive.
Run health care and no answer to eliminating private health insurance.
Yeah, she said she's not going to eliminate people's private health insurance. That was never the intention.
Well, we brought them all up. Every one of the things that we brought it all up. And I
brought it all up. Dogs, cats, living together, mass hysteria.
Ended with, why hasn't she done it before? Why didn't she fix, she's there complaining. Why didn't she fix all these things?
Were you really willing to leave the stage and go home?
I don't know. Why didn't Mike Pence keep you in office?
She was going to go fix it in Washington?
No, you know what? I would have left. I would have said, go home and fix it. I'll leave with you, okay? But she doesn't. She's not going to fix it. So she's complaining about all the stuff that's wrong with the country, and they've been there.
No, she's not. First of all, our government requires constant gardening and actual focus on solutions. That aside, she's not complaining. She's saying, we have these issues. Let's work on the actual solutions for those issues. He was complaining. I'm being treated very unfairly. They're eating dogs. Like, that's complaining.
For 3.5 years. And I wanted to save that for my last little summation. And I actually mentioned in there, too. I just thought it was a great debate. I think we showed the weakness. But the sad part is that
that is true. He definitely showed the weakness.
Destroying our country. When you get right down to it. Debate, good debate. I enjoyed it. But it's a very sad thing because our country is in decline. We are really being laughed at all over the world.
Oh, by the way, her saying that world leaders laugh at him, it left a mark. Literally, that statement right there is the equivalent of a boxer coming out during the during the interviews post fight, holding a rag to his forehead.
And that's tough to take.
Do you think it's strange that somebody could support something as radical as sex change operations paid for by taxpayers for convicts and illegal immigrants, and for illegal immigrants, free housing, health care, education, And not get asked a question about it?
But I brought it up.
You did bring it up.
Of course, they weren't so happy when I brought it up. But
Also, by the way, what they use is the concept of fairness as an argument for targeting, which is, again, that's like saying Trump is for all white collar criminals to be released from prison because he doesn't believe he should be in there, right? He doesn't believe any white collar criminal should go to jail ever for anything. He just wants to release white collar criminals who, by the way, even if there's maybe some tie to the fact that their ex-wife fell down a flight of stairs and they buried him on their property to hide them, like even that situation, they should be let go. See how that works? See how easy it is?
But I brought it up. I brought up the fact that they're doing sex change operations on illegal immigrants.
Okay. I brought up the fact that they're doing sex change operations on illegal immigrants. Is it against their will? Is that the problem? Or is that a plus?
And those are expensive operations, and they...
I see. Well, I mean, if they did it, what if they did it on the cheap? Would you be okay with that? If they really, they cut a couple of corners, no pun intended?
Shouldn't be done for a lot of reasons.
There are a lot of things.
All right, yeah, it should be done for a lot of reasons. What one? What, that people shouldn't have, like transgender people shouldn't have surgery to, on their genitals at all? They shouldn't. So, okay, so no sexual mutilation, is that what you call it? So we're against circumcision. So you're coming out against circumcision now. Cool.
You said that weren't true about you tonight, that you would support a national abortion ban.
Yeah.
You've never said that.
I never said
Oh, and by the way, this isn't about Trump cleaning up what he said afterwards. And look, there's Vivek dangling behind him. I think he's the next interview on this show. We're not going to cover him because I don't care. But it's interesting that usually this would be a situation where Trump would come out and clean up what he said on his own. Go, I wanted to say this. I could have said this. This is Sean Hannity mopping up after Trump. Trump is the elephant in the parade, and Sean Hannity is behind him with a giant broom and a scoop.
You support Project 25.
Correct.
You never read it? I don't even know what it is either.
I don't want to read it.
Okay.
Bullshit. Also, it's not Project 25. Oh, you notice they do this a bunch. It's Project 2025. It's the exact same contextually as Agenda 47. The reason he's against saying that Project 2025 is the impetus for this shit is because he wants credit for all the stuff that's in it. Of course he didn't fucking read it. Of course he's never gonna fucking read it. It's a manual for people who will work for him. He's not gonna read it. He's just gonna pass it out. Secondly, Agenda 47 is the crayon and hammers version of Project 2025. The other thing too is that you'll notice he calls it Project 25. I don't even know what Project 25 I don't even know what Project 25 is. Right. Nobody asked you about Project 25. They asked you about Project 2025. So it's this cheap, lazy lie where if you ever get called out on it and you go, oh, I thought you were talking about Project 25. I don't even know what you're talking about.
Number two, that she said in 2000, I took back my position on banning fracking.
Yep.
No, CNN fact-checked that and said no. The mandatory gun buy.
And she didn't say it in 2000, stupid. She did in 2020. 2020, that would be the 2 and the 0 that are next to each other. She didn't say it in 2000. So Sean Hannity, I don't know, lying or being flippant.
Back at the end of the debate, she lied about that too.
That's right.
By the way, why is the camera on Trump and not on Sean Hannity? It's since he's doing the rebuttal.
That's right. She wants to confiscate. I called her out on everything that you said. I think I got everything out. Now, with all of that being said, I was amazed because I really thought that'd be fair. I have to say, CNN a few weeks ago was sort of fair against Biden. But this one was stacked. I figured it would be after watching 100% positive coverage of her. And she's done a terrible job as vice president. And
also, what do you mean watching 100% coverage of her? He saw that allegation by that media group that, the right-wing media group is like, they're in the tank. These are the same groups that say no matter what Democrat is running, they're always the most liberal ever. Right. Look,
she's the worst vice president we've ever had. She was the border czar, the worst border ever in the history of the world, not just in our country.
So you're saying our border got worse after you built the wall. So the wall made it worse. Okay, at least we can agree on that.
And he's the worst president we've ever had.
So
they're destroying our country.
Yeah, make sure you get that in there. Yeah. Yeah, don't discuss details. Just say, Sean, they're destroying our country, because that'll convince him, the other people there, the large number of people who seem to be ignoring the fact that, I mean, it's weird that he's giving an interview right there, right? And everybody's kind of looking away. I mean, there's Garrett Haake. They're interviewing somebody else.
I'm very aware. And if we look at her
Yeah, I'm very aware they're destroying the country. Cool.
tax plan, which is, okay, price gauging or gouging, and the largest tax increase not only in American history but world history. Her campaign is saying tonight, Washington Post is reporting, that she wants a second debate. What's your
because
answer?
she lost. She wants it because she lost.
Do you have an answer?
Yeah. Well, if she lost, then I guess there shouldn't be a problem with another one, right? It's not a rematch. Maybe she feels like she can go further with this stuff. Again, interestingly, in terms of the debate, I know he's going for because we usually have multiple debates, right? We usually have more than one. So the idea used to be that if you only want to do one debate, obviously you lost or you don't think you debate very well. So after this one, asking for more seems to be an affirmation that she thought she did well and that she feels like she will do even better next time and that he's a triggerable idiot, which is clearly the case. Trump wants to make it like a boxer in a rematch because he doesn't want to do it because he got his ass kicked.
Sir?
Well, I don't know. I have to think about it. But if you won the debate, I sort of think maybe I shouldn't do it. Why should I do another debate?
Because you won. Man, why? I mean, it's a close race. Put it away, man. If you won. Right? No harm, no foul. And it was easy. You didn't even have to prep for it. She worked her ass off. And you didn't have to do anything. It was super easy. You got in the whole thing about people eating dogs, and you got to reiterate that you thought you won 2020. And I mean, it was perfect.
She immediately said, we want another debate. That's, you know what happens when you're a prize fighter and you lose? You immediately want a new fight.
You want a rematch.
You want a rematch. The guy that won is sort of happy and thinking about it.
Would you be
Is that what you are? Sort of happy and thinking about it?
inclined to say yes, or you
Maybe
don't
if
know?
it was on a fair network, I would do that. But
I think
But as long as I could pick the ref, which is what the winner always says. I nailed it. I won. Even with the refs against me. Would you do it again? Ref! My cousin Benny could do the ref. He could, if he could be the ref, that'd be good. I don't know if otherwise, I'll have to think about it. I gotta be honest, my butthole stings really bad right now. It was, it was a good, don't get me wrong, I totally won. But I am going to be sitting weird for a while.
let Hannity moderate it.
yeah, no, I think
Like
that
I
would be
did
fair.
Newsom and Ron DeSantis.
I think it would be fair. You would be fair,
I
actually.
would be
you
fair.
want to know the truth.
I'd let you both talk. I'd let you go at each other.
I thought they would be fair. They weren't, but I felt very comfortable.
Yeah.
We have the best policy. She has no policy.
You know, one thing that interested me, because
But right, because she has your policy and you have no policy, so she must have no policy. Is that where we're going?
I've known you for a long time, and one of the things that I was watching.
Yeah, you guys had the same fixer. You were both clients of Michael Cohen during the time when he would clean up shit for rich assholes. This is client number 1. This is client number 3. Client number 1, client number 3. Client number 1, client number 3. All right.
In you tonight is that you were all business. You know, a lot of times when you're
Yeah, thanks, Sean. Yeah, totally. It was great. All business. Because every business I walk into, I'm like, I think I'll have a combo. They're eating the dogs. You know what? I'm going next door. Thanks very much. How long you been working here? 2 years. Okay. And how long has this place been here? About 2 years. Okay. And what about you? They're eating the dogs. You know what? I'm gonna fucking bounce.
you're at your rallies or we do a town hall.
Sean, they're destroying our country.
Did he mention they're destroying our country? You should get that one in. Because I think that's a winner. I mean, I think that's what lands it. Just say, like no one's ever seen before and they're destroying our country again. It doesn't sound at all like an old man tick. It doesn't sound at all like, why does Grandpa keep saying that?
Is that what it was? Is it the seriousness of the moment?
There's nothing to smile about. You know, I can...
That's right. You know what? It's nice. J.D. Vance is rubbing off on him. There is nothing to smile about. Now, I know why he feels like that, because we've all seen his wife and we've all seen his kids. But still.
I'm a good smiler.
Not weird at all. Not strange. Why? Of course, that's what you say. I'm a good smiler. It's what I do. I'm smiling all day as I make my poo. I smile on the little Johnny. I smile at the urinal. I smile into the glory hole. Hey, that's Matt Gates. All right. I'm a good, there's nothing to smile about. I'm a good smiler. Fuck me.
Seriousness of the moment.
There's nothing to smile about. You know, I'm a good smiler, but there's nothing to smile about. They're destroying. We have 21 million people that have been released in.
There is nothing to smile about. Sean, stop smiling at me. Sean, there's nothing to smile. This is not a smiling matter. I'm a good smiler.
Into our country.
Yes, you are. You're a good little smiler.
And many of them are criminals and terrorists and people
Laken
from
Riley,
mental institutions.
Rachel Morin, Jocelyn Nungary.
All dead.
Insane to sound. Hey, whoa. Sean, stop it. Stop. He's in muscle memory mode. You don't get to interrupt him when he's on the prisons and jails and mental institutions and insane asylums rant. You don't get to interrupt. You create. It's like flicking the turntable. Just like,
terrorists and people
Laken
from
Riley,
mental institutions.
Rachel Morin, Jocelyn Nungary.
All dead.
I list all these names
I know.
on the show of people murdered, people raped, people victims of violent crime.
really, you don't list anybody that's been physically attacked or sexually attacked by literal campaign staff of Donald Trump? That didn't occur to you? Because the numbers equal. I guarantee you can go 1-to-1. Here's a good idea, Sean. I suggest this. Find all the illegal immigrant crime you can come up with, and then over the same timescape, look up youth pastor and the same fucking crime. I'm pretty sure you'll reach parity very early.
Crime, names a lot of people never heard of. You've called Laken Riley's family.
I did. I was with him. Who
else you've met other families? You've met the families of...
I met them all.
Yeah, you met them all. Name some of the other people, says Sean Hannity to a man he knows can barely remember Sean Hannity's name.
Afghanistan.
Nungary. I met.
You met Nungary's family.
Yeah, I met 5 or 6 of them.
I met 5 or 6 of them. Which was it? The 5th one or the 6th one?
Even talking about the 13 soldiers that were killed in Afghanistan, the families of the 13 soldiers. Which Espinoza? Guy, which names? What are the first names that come to your mind? Biden won't even talk to, and
he literally reached out to all of them.
He's the one that caused their death. Just as if he had a pistol in his hand, he and her caused their death.
So I guess it's the equivalent of you think, I'm just curious, if you had shot all 13 of them in the middle of 5th Avenue, would you lose any support? I doubt it.
Just as if literally they had a gun.
No, not as if literally. You released the Taliban fighters that were surrounding the airport. The very same ones that allowed the ISIS-K guy to get through and blow the fucking place up.
In their hand.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing. When you're in a situation...
Wait a minute, Sean. It's pretty amazing? Hold on. Back the fuck up. His answer to it's as if Biden and Harris took a gun and shot these soldiers in the head, and Sean Hannity's response is, it's pretty amazing.
In his hand, he and her caused their death. Just as if literally they had a gun in their hand.
Yeah, it's pretty amazing.
as if they had a gun in their hand. It's pretty amazing. Yes, it's pretty amazing, Sean. It's pretty amazing you don't fucking fire off and punch him in the face right then for being such a pig.
When you're in a situation like that, what is going through your mind?
Excuse me, Your Honor, I object. It makes conclusions not based on evidence presented at trial. We have no evidence that thoughts actually go through his head. We have some indication that someone else's thought in audible form bounces around in a cavernous way between his ears and then sort of spills out of his face. But the idea that there's thought involved is a bridge too far, Your Honor. I object.
What goes on behind the scenes? How do you prepare for your debates?
Yeah, thank you, Sean. How do you prepare for the debate? Well, I watch a lot of dog videos.
Well, I think I always say I've been preparing all my life for these debates. You know, you can't go in like she did. She goes into a room and she memorized lines, more or less. I thought I got one cute one. I'm talking when I said, I'm talking, when she started interrupting me.
Yeah, you thought you thought you did? Yeah, she looked at you like you thought you were being cute.
Said that to Mike Pence.
I wanted to get even for that. You know, that was not very nice what she did. But
I wanted to get even for that. Sorry, you wanted to get even for how she spoke to Mike Pence during a debate. The guy you sent your supporters to fucking hang. Yeah, I think it's lovely. Quite frankly, Sean, can we get Mike Pence on the phone right now? Trump wants to sing him a tune. Think of it as like the wave jazz after dark. He wants to dedicate a love song to him. You're gonna avenge Mike Pence because of her remark, because he spoke over her when you were like, I think these people are a lot more angry about this than you are, McCarthy. You mean the people who are coming here yelling, "Hang Mike Pence"? Yeah, those people.
But no, I thought it was. We're getting great reviews.
It's interesting.
We're getting great reviews. Yeah. You're an off Broadway play now. Congratulations.
The one line that really stuck out that did make me laugh out loud is when you.
Yeah, so I was so excited. There was this one thing you said where I wasn't literally listening to my stomach gurgle.
Said you're going to send her a MAGA hat. There are a lot of positions now. All of a sudden, she's come over to your side. She's been against the border wall. She's been against.
There's only one problem.
Yeah.
If she ever won immediately from the day after that election, everything would go back to confiscate your guns and forget about oil and everything else.
Right. What he's saying is that she would say all this stuff and then get elected and not do it, which is yet another one of her positions he's accusing her of stealing.
They were cutting back on oil way back. They got rid of Anwar, the biggest oil site perhaps in the world, in Alaska. They did.
Yeah. First of all, they didn't get rid of it. It never started. They killed it before it started, which is good because we don't need it. And we're already producing more oil than any country in the world. And we still have 9,000 unused leases in the continental United States, in the lower 48, you dumb motherfucker.
Did things that are so bad and so destructive. But
yes, so bad and so destructive, including not drilling in the Alaskan National Wildlife Reserve.
Energy
so that's a full Anwar. I gotta.
Prices started doubling up, and she immediately went back to the Trump plan.
She did. She immediately went back to the Trump plan. What was the Trump plan? Drill, baby, drill. That I don't know how to break this to you, but that was the Sarah Palin plan, and it never fucking happened.
But I would have been now 4 times higher than they are right now because.
So, and how would you do this? You would just threaten. How would you get the people at Exxon and Chevron to produce more oil and lower the profit point on the product that they create? Just maybe you just do it like Abdul. You show him like I went to the head of Exxon, and he was like, "Why, oh why do you show me a picture of my house where my children sleep and my wife cooks my favorite fish fingers? Why would you do such a thing?" And I say, "You'll figure it out."
Because that was 3.5 years ago.
Right.
When she cut everything out. She went to wind and went to all this other stuff that doesn't work from an economic standpoint and even a visual standpoint. I don't get.
Yeah, that's the big failure of wind, is the visual standpoint. Because all of us, all right, real quick, if I may, chat room, work with me on this one. It's obviously fucking nuts when he says that windmills cause cancer and they're bald eagle graveyards and, oh, okay, fine. But I have to say, most of the people I know, with rare exception, when we see a wind farm, it's kind of cool. It's the vast majority of them, these giant white structures, they're kind of a marvel. It's like seeing a dam. You know what I mean? Nobody looks at a dam and goes, they fucked up the river. There used to be flowing water here, and now there's this big concrete thing fucking up the scenery, right? Nobody looks at, I don't know where, I mean, obviously it's because of golf courses and he thinks somehow it fucks these up. But am I alone in this? Because I feel like when I drive by them, I'm like happy to see them. There's one on your way up to San Francisco. If you take the 5, you pass by one of them, and it's really cool looking. It's huge, and they really are a modern marvel to look at. There's another one. I think I was in Kansas. Where the fuck were we? We're on maybe it was Wisconsin. I think it's for one of the sexy liberal days, and I'm coming through like this this highway area past this hillside, and you come around a corner, and then it's kind of like, oh shit, there's this big wind farm. Might have been Indiana. I was going through Indiana. Yeah, that's what it was. Indiana. There's huge wind farms down there, and you don't see them until at one point until you clear the around this bend, and then there they are, and it really is impressive. It really, yeah, Texas has a bunch of them. Yes, that's the irony. Texas is full of those fucking things. They just have a shit grid that's not connected to anything else, so they don't know what, they don't want to maintain them because it's not butch or some shit, right? But that's the thing. And again, the people that live around them are fine with them. What he's talking about is that he doesn't like them because they somehow make them like certain golf courses. He has a problem with them because they ruin the view of the because he bought his properties on the cheap, and he doesn't. And the weird thing is like, they're in California. You can see oil rigs out on the water. That doesn't bother him, but the windmills do. It's super fucking weird.
Get the wind. You take these gorgeous plains and deserts and all this stuff.
These gorgeous plains. Yes, everybody's like, the gorgeous desert. Now there's all these shitty windmills around.
They put these windmills up. They go up like a 30-story building in some cases.
That's a little tall.
Destroy everything. They cut out all, and the environmentalists say, aren't they wonderful? But it's the most expensive form of energy, and it's never going to do for our country.
So if we look at the issues on the economy.
Well, no, Sean, why don't you want to stay on windmills are ugly? I mean, it's 2024, Sean. This is the single most important issue of our time. Otherwise, he wouldn't be bringing it up. Sean, listen to him. Yes, and.
On immigration, on law and order, on energy, and America's role in the world.
Yeah.
Is there anything you can point to that you would say they have been successful on?
No. They have been unsuccessful at everything.
Okay. Well, that settles it. Yeah. So you would consider a stock market above 40,000 to be a net negative. And you would consider unemployment being at 4% or lower for the longest stretch in history a negative. Okay, so that sucks. Gotcha. Okay, cool. Infrastructure bill, getting one passed. Fuck that. Okay. Chips and Science Act, definitely against it. Okay. So what precisely are you for then?
And even the economy, I said, as part of the economy, you've let 21 million people, more than that, I think, with all the gotaways. That's killing our economy.
Terrorists, and we do have the murders and the rapes and the violent crime.
Oh, and
you do, Sean. You're right. Republicans, especially the Trump campaign, you do have the murders and the rapes and the violent crimes. Congratulations, you've cornered the market on something that probably people knew as a Chicago Democrat mob thing years ago, and you did it. You took that piece off our board and you put it on your side. Congratulations, Sean. You've got the. Honestly, I hope you have a crocheted pillow in your house that says we've got the murders and rapes and violent crime.
You haven't seen anything yet. What do you?
No, yeah, obviously. The immigrants are just getting settled in, and then they're going to start a criming.
You see it in the months to come.
You know what's
In the months to come. What are you planning it? I'd say it sounds like a threat, but I don't know anybody who would be afraid of this doughy fuck. You know, there was a time when Trump threatening someone, you know, even as president, he was a little old and he was a little long in the tooth, and he was largely saying it because he could hide behind some big, thick motherfuckers. But there was probably a time when he was younger where he was just kind of a brutal, borderline sociopath. Where you're like, this motherfucker might take a pop, right? Might take a swing at me with something sharp. That's a bit of a worry. Not anymore. Like this is like Pat Robertson threatening you. It's like Tammy Faye Baker threatening you, you know.
scares me, and I've said this on the air.
What scares? Sean says, you know what scares me? I've said this on the air. 2-syllable words. No. Women in power, clearly. Age and irrelevance. Ouch. Too close, too soon, too close to home. Ouch.
Is by having open borders, unvetted illegal immigrants, that I don't think it's a matter of if, I think it's a matter of when that this country is going to be attacked.
If you look at Springfield.
By who? Oh my God, he's going for it.
Ohio, look at what.
Yeah, here. If you look at Springfield, Ohio, hey, you think 9/11 was bad? This is like a 9/11 for dachshunds. This is, you think... Yeah, they're going to learn how to, they're going to learn how to drive those vans where they groom pets, and then your pet's going to go in there and they're not going to learn how to do it. They're just going to pick up your pets and never learn how to land.
What's happening there? You look.
What's happening there? What's happening there, dummy? Tell them.
Look at Aurora in Colorado.
Yeah, look at Aurora in Colorado. I know what you're talking about. You mean the mass shooter that shot up the theater that arguably is the reason why movie theaters are doing poorly even beyond COVID, is because the fear of people sitting in the dark with a stranger, and there's no like magnetometers or anything going into a theater, which has driven down a huge American industry and driven it effectively home, had more effect on movie theaters and moving people to streaming than even an infectious disease did in Aurora. Is that what we're talking about? The guy who dressed up as the fucking Joker and killed a bunch of people? That guy? Oh no, you mean some Venezuelans who work their fucking asses off just to stay here for a while as temp workers while their country is falling apart at home, that you gave a year and a half head start or like delay on their removal proceedings, guaranteeing it'd be 4 or 5, maybe 6 years before they ever saw the inside of a courtroom if they deserved to be deported. That was him. Sorry, you were saying something about how these hardworking people are wrecking the fucking place.
Beautiful little towns and little cities, small cities.
Yeah, beautiful little towns and small cities and cities. Sure.
They're being taken over by illegal migrants. I mean, they're people that poured in, and they have weapons like our military doesn't have.
Where did they get those? They've got weapons like our military doesn't have? You mean because our military doesn't have Kalashnikovs? We don't have AK-47s? Because we don't use those? Because Mexican gangs have them and then they sell them or trade them? Or people buy them on the black market inside the country?
You know, they have AK-47s. They have weapons like our military doesn't have.
Yes, you're right. Our military does not use Russian weapons.
And, you know, some sheriff in one of these towns where he's got 2 deputies and they're not into this.
Yeah, he's got, we got a couple of rules up here in Aurora. I got 1 bullet in my pocket. Now, you fellas put down that. All right.
There's no way they can protect the people from this.
Yeah, they can. It's fucking Colorado. There's a town in Colorado called Rifle. Lauren Boebert is from there. She had a fucking restaurant called Shooter's Bar and Grill. Everybody's packing, you dumbass. It's Colorado.
But look at what's going on in Springfield today. Nobody's ever seen anything like it.
Yeah. Before or since or during. Nobody knows what you're talking about, fuckwad.
We really appreciate it. I know your people are calling for you.
Yeah, people are trying to get you out of here because you just about said they're eating dogs again. And can you please, can you beat it?
Roll. What made you come to the spin room?
I just felt I wanted to. I was very happy with the result. It's a very unfair situation. They've weaponized our government politically, so, I mean, that's unfair. And I just felt we had a great night, and I'd come over here. I actually gave a little bit of a news conference. We were swarmed.
Oh, by the way, I could hear it. You were interrupting my show, by the way, just for the record.
I had to come over and do yours. I would hate like heck to leave here, and I didn't do
No, I'd be mad. I would take that as a personal offense. There's no doubt.
Oh, yeah. If you didn't come here, I would. I know you got to go. But if you hadn't joined me, boy, I would have really. I didn't have anything planned, really, that we were going to do. I wasn't going to. But nice seeing you. Hey, thanks for, and that's the best part is that you're here and you're definitely here. And I'm going to, just, and I know your people are over there waving at me. So they're, yeah. And, they're saying you got to go. So, yeah, I'd love to. Oh, I wish you could stay too. Anyways, I'm sorry, what were you saying? Oh, the same shit you were saying 5 minutes ago in the same order, right? Because something you read in a Hitler book that says repeat shit all the time. Ah, I see. Think of it. Yes, I will think of it. I will think of it. Yes, while I'm on the toilet. Goodbye.
Big trouble.
All right, so no answer on their offer for a second debate.
Again, the reason you do a second debate is if you lose, and they lost. And we looked at one poll, it was 92-7.
Yeah.
No, you didn't. Like, where was it? RSBN? What, on Twitter? The fuck out of here. 92-7.
We looked at another one, 86-3.
Did you? Oh, where was this? On Truth Social?
Well,
I mean, we have all of these results coming in.
No, you don't, you weirdo.
But I'll think about it, It's very quick.
Mr. President, thank you for taking time. We really appreciate it. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right. Hey, Sean Hannity here.
Jesus.